You need to learn to be bored. Here's why. If you're new here, my name is Aku, I work as a resident doctor in the UK, and I like to occupy myself most of the day to be productive. But some parts of my day, I like to be bored because it makes me more productive. Let me explain. Being bored isn't actually a waste of time. It's actually your brain's way of resetting itself. So we have evidence from neuroscience to suggest there's different parts of the brain that connects to each other called a default mode network. And this activates when your brain is stopped focusing on the outside world. So when you're lost in your thoughts or you're daydreaming, that's your default mode network in action. And this is really important because one of the actions of the default mode network is to connect your past experiences to your future goals. So that's why when you're in the shower, you have your best thoughts. Or you have your best argument comebacks. You're like, oh, I should have said that one thing. Why did I not think of it? And you think of it in the shower. And we can see this in people with clinical depression because they have an overactivation of this default mode network, which means they struggle to conceive their previous past experiences and connect it with their future goals. And so they're too busy living in the past. I wish I did this. I wish I did that. They live with regret and they can't connect it to the future goals as well as we can. So they can't bring out meaningful changes in the future. They just don't have the ambitions, they don't have the motivation, it's literally blunted. So coming back to the video, okay, well, I need to be bored. So what do I actually do? Like, do I just stare at a wall every day? Like, how does that actually come about? I think it's quite useful to see the evolutionary mechanism behind boredom to see why we actually need this so we can actually use it to our advantage. So our ancestors back in the day, they used to be hunting and they found some spots, and when they were in the same hunting spot for too long, their brain would produce a biological signal in their body. This is called boredom, and it's literally a signal to tell them, hey, I think you need to explore new areas. I think you need to find new food sources. You need to find new shelter. It was literally a survival mechanism to make them adaptable. So how do we actually implement this? Do we just again stare at the wall? Do we go hunting? Probably not. But we have evidence to suggest that if you go on a 15-minute walk every day, that's no phones, no music, no distractions, going on a walk for going for the walk. It helps you activate your default mode network so you can think more creatively, more strategically, and just give your brain some space to think. And if you're anything like me, it's quite hard to do this. You know, you're like, oh, do nothing? That makes no sense. Like, how do I just do nothing? But instead of thinking of doing nothing as a waste of time, I would urge you to think of it as your brain going to the gym. The more reps you do, the better you are at using the default mode network and the better ideas you get. When we give our brain silence, it starts talking back. And I started doing this and it's completely changed my life because I've noticed the best ideas I get are when I go on that walk or when I'm doing literally nothing and just taking a break. And it sounds really woo-woo when you say, take a break, bro. But I think people misconstrue this information as, hey, I'm going to take a break. I'm just going to relax and go on my phone and scroll social media. Because when you get bored, the first thing you do is pick up your phone and go on social media. But social media is literally killing your focus. At the end of 2021, I actually deleted all of social media and my life completely changed. Now, if you want to learn how to delete social media and regain your focus, I've made a whole video on it right over here. I explain how I deleted social media, why you should delete social media to save your work and your relationships and your focus. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in that video over there.